when the hardest thing to do is let go, when you have nowhere to go. All right, listen up, because what I'm about to say isn't just another video. This is a goddamn intervention. For years, I've tried to be the calm, professional voice of reason, talking about these emotional leeches, these soul-sucking parasites that call themselves human. But today, I'm done. I am so done. Today, you're getting the real me. No filter, no holding back. This isn't coming from some textbook. It's coming from the rage I feel after watching good people get their lives torched. I'm talking 10, 20, 30 years flushed down the toilet, all while chained to some demonic, two-faced monster who gets off on their pain. And you know what makes me sick? The absolute gut-wrenching injustice of it all. These cold-blooded predators walk around scot-free, smiling, charming everyone, while their victims are left emotionally bankrupt, homeless, or worse. They build their perfect little lives on the wreckage of yours. So let's be brutally clear. We're talking about vile, selfish, predatory narcissists. They are a disease, a disgusting stain on humanity, and they deserve nothing but our absolute, undiluted contempt. My goal today is to light a fire under the one person who feels completely stuck, who thinks there's no way out. Maybe that's you. If any of this hits home, I want you to tell me in the comments, because we're about to get real. Let's get into it. Why does a narcissist build a prison out of your own mind? When the cage isn't made of bars, but of their poison. Have you ever looked at your front door and felt like it was the wall of a tomb? It starts with a whisper, a cold, creeping thought planted by that. Gaslight guru, where would you even go? Then another, who would ever want you, and before you know it, you're paralyzed. Not by chains, but by a story. A disgusting, fraudulent story that two-faced monster wrote just for you. They don't lock you in a room. That's for amateurs. They lock you inside your own head until it becomes their personal playground of torture. I had a client tell me, a man who looked like he had the world at his feet. He said,
she'd say it every day. Without me, you'd fall apart. You are a wreck. After a while, that vulture's voice became my own inner voice. I'd look in the mirror and see a failure, not a man. See the sick genius in that. It's not about your reality. It's about their power to rewrite it. That emotional leech chips away at your soul, piece by rotten piece, until you can't imagine taking a breath without their permission. They don't just build a prison. They convince you that you're the one who deserves to be in it. They make you the warden of your own misery. They hand you the key and then laugh as you refuse to use it. So when you feel that dread, that suffocating feeling of being trapped, know this, the cage door has been open the whole goddamn time. You just have to stop believing the lies of the demon standing guard. But trapping your mind is just the start. Now let's talk about how they trap your wallet. What does a narcissist get by making you financially helpless? Your empty wallet is their golden leash. Ever feel like you're a grown adult begging for pocket money from a control freak? It starts with that fake-ass generosity. Let me handle the bills, babe. Don't you worry. It sounds like a favor from a saint, doesn't it? But what that predator in disguise is really doing is cutting off your legs at the knees. They don't want a partner. They want a hostage, a possession they can control with the power of a debit card. In a session, a woman who had given up her career for that soul-sucking parasite broke down completely.
He'd give me cash for groceries, and if I was short, he'd say, well, maybe you should learn to budget better. My money, our money, it was always his money. I was trapped. How could I leave? I couldn't even afford a bus ticket.
That's the whole goddamn point. It's not about finance. It's about chains. That fake saint makes you so financially crippled that leaving isn't just a scary thought. It's a logistical nightmare they design. They sabotage your job opportunities. They hide money in accounts you don't know exist. They make you feel guilty for every penny you spend on yourself. Every dollar they hand you is a slap in the face. a reminder that you are nothing without them. They get off on it. It's the ultimate power trip for a pathetic, insecure coward. They need you weak. They need you dependent. Your poverty is their power. Your financial ruin isn't an accident. It is their masterpiece. If you think that is low, just wait. Now let's talk about the one line no monster should ever cross. 3. Why does a narcissist turn your own kids against you when your children become their little soldiers of hate? Has your own child ever looked at you with the eyes of that monster? It's the most vile satanic trick in their playbook. It starts so quietly, a whispered lie while they're tucking them in. Mommy's just angry all the time. Or daddy doesn't know how to be happy. It's poison dripped directly into the ear of an innocent. Then, that gaslight guru starts the bribery campaign. The expensive toys you can't afford, they get them. The promises you can't keep, they fulfill them. They become the hero. And you become the villain in your own child's life. A father sat in my office, a broken man. He said, his voice cracking.
She looks our daughter in the eye and says, Daddy left because he found a new family he loves more. She is 7. My own little girl now flinches when I try to hug her. That witch is using my own blood to torture me.
This is not a custody battle. This is a hostage situation. That emotional leech turns your children, the only pure thing left in your life, into weapons. Little daggers aimed directly at your heart, and they twist them every single day. They don't co-parent. They counter-parent. They don't protect. They poison. They don't love. They leverage. They know the one thing that will absolutely shatter your soul is the rejection of your own child. It's the checkmate from which there feels no escape. And that sick, twisted victory is all that pathetic creature has ever wanted. And just when you think you have nowhere else to turn, they make sure of it. Why does a narcissist turn your own family against you? The sick magic of making your saviors your executioners. Ever had your own damn mother tell you that you're the problem? Welcome to the Narcissist grand finale. That two-faced monster doesn't just work on you. They work on everyone around you. They've been playing the long game since day one, grooming your entire support system. To your parents, they are the patient, loving soul putting up with your moods. To your friends, they are the charming, stable one trying to hold it all together. To everyone else, they are the victim of your instability. They've spent years setting the stage, dropping little bombs of concern. I am so worried about her, or he is just not himself lately. So when you finally shatter and run to them for help, whose story do you think sounds more believable? Yours, the crazy one, or theirs? The long-suffering fake saint. I'll never forget the woman who whispered this to me, dead-eyed from betrayal.
I called my brother after he smashed my phone. I was hysterical. My brother said, Jesus, what did you do now to set him off? You know how he gets. He took the bastard side. My own brother.
That is the moment the floor disappears from beneath you. The moment you realize that soul-sucking parasite hasn't just isolated you. They've surrounded you. They've turned your only escape route into a firing squad. And your own family is holding the rifles. Leaving is impossible when there is nowhere left to run. And they made damn sure of it. But their final, most evil trick is the one they play inside your own heart. Why does a narcissist make being alone feel worse than being abused? They train you to fear freedom more than their hell. Does the thought of a quiet house scare you more than their rage-filled screaming? This is it! Their magnum opus of cruelty. The control freak doesn't just hurt you. They systematically rewire your brain until the abuse feels like home. Their chaos becomes your comfort zone. Their toxic presence, as awful as it is, becomes the devil you know. And freedom? the outside world, that becomes the terrifying gaping void. For years, that vulture has pecked at your self-worth. For years, that leech has drained your confidence. For years, that monster has whispered that you are a worthless, unlovable piece of trash that no one else would ever touch. And after a million repetitions, a part of you believes it. A young man shaking in my office admitted this.
I know he is killing me, slowly. But when I think about leaving and just being alone forever, I can't breathe. I'd rather take the punches than face that silence.
Do you hear that? They hollow you out until you forget how to stand on your own 2 feet. They make their poison your only source of water, and you become terrified of dying of thirst. They've convinced you that you are nothing without them, and the thought of that nothingness is a fate worse than their abuse. Let me scream this from the rooftops. The silence you fear is not a void. It is not emptiness. It is peace. It is the sound of your own goddamn soul taking its first breath after years of being suffocated. They've trained you to see a cliff, but I am telling you, it is a runway. If any of this hell sounds familiar, if you feel that cage door closing in on you, listen to me. That feeling of having nowhere to go is the biggest, most evil lie that demon ever told you. It is the final chain they use to keep you enslaved. And if you've known for months or years that you're living with one of these parasites and you're still there, ask yourself why. What are you waiting for? Another broken promise? Another fake apology from that two-faced monster? Do you have the desire to be free? Because if you do, the time for waiting is over. Understanding these disgusting, evil tricks is the first step, but it's not enough. You have to act. This isn't about changing them. That's a fool's game. This is about saving yourself. It's about arming yourself with the brutal truth, so you can build a wall around your sanity and get the hell out. If these situations feel real, know that you are not alone in this war. We get it. We understand the soul-crushing games these monsters play. We can help you plan your escape, deal with the wreckage they've left behind, and find a clear path to real safety and lasting peace. Do not let that sick, twisted mind control one more second of your future. Reach out. The number is in the description below. Your life is worth fighting for. And if you are still waiting for that emotional leech to say they're sorry, understand this. You are handing your future over to the very monster who destroyed your past. And remember, you can and you will be healed. You just have to take the first step today. Thank you.